And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
So apparently Kanye West is running for president. This has caused quite a stir within the political world. For a week or so I didn't think he was actually being serious in doing so, but with recent tweets about being a write-in candidate and holding one rally, I guess he is in the race? I don't know. Kanye is not doing well mentally, with sources saying he's undergoing another public breakdown similar to that of 2 years ago, around the time he met with Trump and released Ye. And I honestly hope that the people around him keep supporting him to be better, because he honestly needs to be. At first I thought this was all just a publicity stunt for his next upcoming album, Donda. This entire thing leaves me perplexed and confused, but with that out of the way, I still have no idea what his exact impact will be on the race, and exactly how many votes he's going to siphon away from both Biden and the president. But since this is an election prediction video, I'm going to have to try my best in analyzing the politics despite not having enough data to do so. So I guess take this form of research with some grain of salt. There have been 2 polls conducted with Ye included into the mix. The first one is by Study Finds, which is an albeit not a reliable poll. It suggests that Kanye has an 8% support group compared to the other candidates, while a more scientific one conducted by Redfield and Wotan Strategies displays Kanye only garnering 2% of the plurality. Keep in mind, these analytics were taken before Kanye's controversial presidential rally, in which he said such remarks such as this.
Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Y'all, we leaving right now.
However, polls, although crucial in determining what the potential results for an election will be, aren't everything. From seeing social media, I see there's quite an amount of support for Ye, either ironic or unironic. The argument here is that both Biden and Trump don't appeal at all to the younger masses, due to personalities and other questionable ventures they've committed to within their public careers. The internet, however, does not describe the vast majority of the country. I'd say Ye's impact on the race will be limited. It may actually serve to benefit Joe Biden for people who are uneasy about re-electing Trump for a second term. Either that or it's going to bring in voters who wouldn't have gone to the polls anyways if Ye had not announced his run. West has bipolar disorder, and his latest actions and subsequent tweet storms have led to many to commentate on his mental health. I honestly don't know what else to say about him. I just hope that Kanye ends up okay. Now let's get to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, here are my predictions for the 2020 general election, which is now a little under 100 days away. Joe Biden holds a daunting lead over President Trump as we begin inching closer and closer to the fall. However, I have seen somewhat of a tightening in the polls in the electorate that may be in favor of Trump. It hasn't been exactly too much of a bounce, really like a point or two in the medium data, but it does put in perspective that the race can still drastically change, and it's far from over. For example, let's look at Arizona. Recent trends suggest that Trump is making some gains within the state. However, at the end of the day, I still think Arizona will trend blue for the first time since 1996. Now, Texas has also been edging closer to blue, and although the pundits may suggest that it will go blue, I just don't see it happening quite yet. I believe Texas Republicans will drive out the party to vote for the incumbent. It would be absolutely insane if Biden won the state somehow, but if I were a Democrat, I wouldn't get my hopes up. Same reasoning can be made for the state of Georgia. I see these remarks that there's going to be this huge Democratic landslide, but in reality, as the polls begin to tighten, I see the idea of a blue wave becoming more far-fetched. Oh, don't get me wrong, I think Biden will come out the victor, but not by a grand margin. Both Iowa and Ohio still seem like Trump country to me. Trump has managed to grasp onto a solid base here for the past 4 years. Although I see him narrowly bringing up the numbers in Ohio, a victory is a victory in this bellwether state. The hardest state to predict for this election, in my opinion, is probably North Carolina. In one instance, I see Biden leading due to a drop in Trump's support, but in another instance, I see Trump's campaign being able to bring Republicans home to the party. Honestly, this is a shot in the dark, but I can see a Trump victory in this state, albeit a very narrow one. While we're at it, I'm going to give Maine's 2nd District to Joe Biden. I believe Trump has lost ground here. And Florida. Oh, Florida. Once I considered it to lean Republican, but now consider it likely Democrat. Without winning Florida, Trump can't win this election. His campaign needs to campaign like hell within the Sunshine State. I mean, no Republican within the past 95 years has even won the presidency without winning the state of Florida. One of the epicenters of the current crisis, it got so bad that Trump had to cancel the Republican convention there. Hell, even the governor there, Ron DeSantis, who's a Republican, has a 41% approval rating, minus 12 compared to where he was back in April. April. In the same poll, Trump is trailing Biden. Disastrous for the state that is usually tight when it comes to political races. Oh, and the Rust Belt states. Don't get me started on these big three. Alongside with Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio, Trump needs to pick off at least one or two of these. And that is by no means an easy task, as his victories in all three of these states back in 2016 were incredibly slim. As of now, I see the Ice Cream Man winning all three of these states. I know what some of you may be thinking. Wowsy, but Biden winning again? Get creative. But this is how creative I can get with the data I've been given. A 319 to 219 margin of victory for the former vice president. I mean, I still consider that quite generous to the president, compared to other YouTubers who show Biden winning 350 plus electoral votes. And some of you may say, just look at 2016. The final results will prove me wrong and to not rely on the poll so much, but 2016 isn't 2020. 2020 has a pandemic. 2020 has mass protests across the United States. Back then, people took a chance with Trump. Now that he has been president for 4 years, will the general public choose to give him another 4? We'll find out soon enough. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.